Hello everyone. I know it's been a while. I've been trying to keep up on my videos, but I've been very busy through the holiday and New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I just wanted to come back and make a quick video to let you all see what I've been doing. My last video was about the Amazon FBA, and I do still have some items that are being sold through Amazon. I decided to go a different direction because after the Amazon fees, as well as the Amazon FBA fees, the profit that I expected to see, I did see, but not totally because of the fees. And um, they're raising those fees February 2015. So I'm trying to look for some other ways to make money, or other sources in addition to that. So I'm not focusing as much on that because if you saw the last video, I spent a few $100s, and I probably gotten about over $2,000 off. So it's not off of the 300 I spent through Amazon FBA. So it's still great. But once they took out their fees, I would say I probably received maybe half of that, which is still not a bad thing. But there was a lot of work involved, and so I decided that I wanted to find something that was a little easier that I could do in addition to Amazon FBA if I can continue to send items to them. So what I had already been doing was Amazon Kindle. Um, I've been with them since about 2011, and I have a few books out, and they've been out for a while. Pretty good selling cookbooks, which is mostly what I've had out, and they've been doing pretty well. And I kind of let the books sit there, and it started to grow. Got to like my first $100 within a few months, and after that, I was at about 150, and then this past 2014 I started getting about 200, 250, and by the end of the year I was getting $300 or so off of just a few books, a handful of books. They just started to grow that way. And so after noticing that consistently I'm getting this Amazon Kindle check, and it's increasing slightly every month with me not really doing anything, I decided that I was going to put more focus into creating more ebooks so that I could actually generate more of a passive income, because this is money that I'm getting without doing anything, and I make the books and it's there, and then I can just kind of go on. And so what I'm showing you is as far back as I can show you for these general stats here, which is 90 days. Today is January 23rd, so this is going back to October 25th. And you can basically see here with me just running my mouse across this that at the most I got maybe 6 sales in one day. And I mean, it was pretty normal for me. At the end of the month, I would expect to have about 30 or so units sold, and that would generate me anywhere from $100 to $300. And the gap would come in because of the borrow program, and so that was where I would notice that I would start to make 200 to 300, because the more popular the Kindle borrow program got, then I noticed I got more borrows. And these stats don't include the borrows. So around this time, you would see that I was making anywhere maybe 350 at the highest I would get for a check for a few books, and including the borrows, with me selling about on average 3 to 5 units a day. Now around December 15th, December 20th, I decided that I wanted to produce more books. And so what I did was I researched a method for me to be able to generate books quicker, because my problem was that it was taking me too long to write these books. I would get burnt out halfway through writing the book and never finish the book. I would take so much time to try to make the book be like a well put together ebook that I would get really burnt out spending so much time on one book. And I just wanted to make sure I was producing a really good product. Now, I still wanted to make sure I produced a really good product, but I wanted to do it a lot faster. Um, And ultimately, I felt like for me, faster for me initially was being able to produce 2 to 3 books per week. And I thought, okay, that's a lot, but I'm only doing about 30 to 50 pages, maybe 60, 70 pages in some cases, depending on the topic and how much information I actually already know about the topic. It's easier to write about things you know. Um, but anyway, to make a long story short, I found a method that works for me. I was able to actually produce 1 book a day. So within a month, I could produce 30 books. And so I had to buckle down like a job, like a 9 to 5 job, get up at a certain time, start, working on whatever book I had, take me a break, take me a lunch break, and all those good things. And if I was consistent and I had everything well organized as far as my topics and my chapters, which I would have planned out the week, like on the weekend, so that I would know what I needed to do for the week. And then I would have pretty much an outline for each book I needed to write every day. I actually even wrote a book on the process that I used to create the books, and that's on my blog, simplesuccessfulsteps.com. And I'll put the address in the description if you want to take a look at that blog. And there's a book there, and it's I can't remember the exact title because it's kind of long, but it's basically how to write an ebook without actually writing an ebook. And I do have a list of my ebooks on that blog, and you can just click the link to go to Amazon to purchase it. And it's just like $2.99. I didn't overcharge, but the information is very real, very valuable, and it actually is selling pretty well on Amazon. That book is selling pretty well for me on Amazon. There is some secret methods in there that I've discovered through research, trial, and error that I found that a lot of people don't share with you that I use to produce more books in a shorter period of time. So, as a result of using the method, you can see that around the in last week or so of December, about the 20th, I guess, you can see that I started to get some increases in the book sales, and it would drop and fluctuate, but the high points were much higher than they were ever before. I'd never sold even 10 books in one day. And then you can see here it's like 14, 12, and it goes down and it's back at 13. And then come January, that's when I really got to see a great increase in sales. That had a lot to do with the promotion. When I produced the books in December, by the end of December, I had all these books I had produced. Then I did the promotion for the books to go ahead and get them to start, ranking or, showing up so that I could get more sales. And as a result, you can see that reflected in the first week of January, because it took about a week or so for me to actually start seeing the results. And so in January, you can see that maybe around January 7th, like I said, the first week in January, you can see 17, 22, and it pretty much went over 20 books per day and stayed there. 40, 45, 60. These are numbers that I have never seen before. Almost 80 books sold on January 19th. And then you can see here there's been some drops, and this is the day is still not over, so it shows 23 for today. It may not get much higher. Some days are not great days, but I expect it to get a little bit higher. But even still, it's above the 20 book mark, so I'm fine with that. I know that it's, it just depends on the flow of the day, but I just wanted to share this with you. Because of the success that I'm seeing, and I can, let you see. Let me scroll down, and you can see like the total amount that it's showing you. And I'll go ahead. I'm gonna pull up like last month's for December. I'll go to November, and then I'll show you some different numbers. Just a second. I'll pull up some numbers for you so I can go over some stuff. Okay, so what I'm showing you is this is for November. I'm just going to show you November, December, and then the partial month of January, which is not yet over yet. And so you can see here what my sales look like for the month of November. You know, with this, I estimate this is roughly about $100. And like I said, with the borrows, I would probably get I sometimes get close to another 100, maybe $50 or so. So the borrows are pretty good I received, so I may get about $200 here for the month of November, and that will be paid out this month. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you December, and then you'll see a slight increase because of the increase in sales towards the end of that month. So let me just bring up those stats for you. Okay, so now you can see for December 2014, you can see here that I've earned about $150 in just the US market alone, and then with the UK and the other markets, just a rough estimate, I would say this is $200 here, plus with the borrows and things, it may be an extra $100 or so. So I'll just say maybe $350, and you can see the increase from November to December. Now let me go ahead and bring up January. And again, the month of January is not yet over, so this what you're seeing is just from January 1st until January 23rd, and you'll see a significant increase from the previous 2 months. So look at the earnings for January. 500, almost $550 in just the US alone, 200 in pounds, that's in England, and then this is 121 in euros and some other euros here, but this is about $150, and then this is about 100, maybe $150 as well in Japanese currency and some other countries as well, but it totals out to maybe about $900. The total, maybe even more. I don't have the currency converter for everything, but I can tell you easily that it's coming out to about anywhere between $800 and $1,000. I think I actually did the math on this, and it was about 1,025 or something like that. It may be a little more because that was like a day or two ago. And so this is absolutely fantastic. The results are way better than I actually expected them to be. This was something that I had to put in a lot of hard work to achieve, but I didn't work as hard as I thought I would because, like I mentioned, I did find a little known method that some other authors do use, but it's a little known method that I'd never heard about, and I still hear about very rarely, that I use to produce these books. And I just wanted to share that information with you. And again, if you're interested, I need to update my blog, but I do have the ebook listed there where I tell you exactly what I did in order to produce more books. Now, it does take more than just creating an ebook. You have to, find the right niche and things like that. And I go into some details about that in the book as well, just to kind of help you get started. Again, it's like less than $3, but look at the results that it could produce for you. Maybe later on I'll try to do like training videos. I know some people are more visual and they need to see, but right now I'm still learning and tweaking the method, and so I'm just going little by little, but as I start to grow, I'll bring you more information. So I just encourage you to keep trying, and I'm going to wrap it up, and keep in mind that these numbers don't even include the borrows, and my borrows are almost as much as my sales, really sometimes more. So I'll keep you updated, and I'll come back and post an update at the end of the month to let you see what my final results are. And I wish you the best of luck.